Well, a former South Carolina sheriff's federal trial is coming to a close after a Queen City News investigation led to his arrest.
Day 3 of the Marlboro County's Charles Lemon's trial wrapped up yesterday in Florence.
Lemon was at the center of our lost trust investigation. Video shows the then sheriff order then deputy Andrew Cook to use a taser to shock an inmate several times inside the county jail in May 2020. Someone inside the sheriff's office later destroyed that body cam evidence, but our chief investigator, reporter Jody Barr, obtained that recording. Cook took the stand earlier this week in the first day of Lemon's trial after pleading guilty for his role in the incident.
Jody has been following this investigation and trial closely and joins us live in Florence. Jody, tell us about the major development from the case yesterday.
Well, Will and Janet, that major development was that the prosecution, the federal government, has now rested its case. They are finished presenting witnesses and evidence against Charles Lemon. Now it's Charles Lemon's defense team's turn to now present his case to convince this federal jury that Charles Lemon did not commit a civil rights violation against Jarrell Johnson inside the county jail there in May of 2020. But the man who got all this started, the man at the center of our lost trust investigation, took the stand here yesterday. Trevor Murphy, who led Charles Lemon's investigative unit, showed up as a prosecution witness here at the courthouse yesterday.
And when somebody violates that or violates you, report it. If nobody listens at the sheriff's office, go to SLED. If nobody listens at SLED, go to the FBI. If nobody listens at the FBI, go to Jody Barr. So find somebody that'll listen, and once they do, let the Lord handle the rest.
We met then Lieutenant Trevor Murphy during our final disrespects investigation way back in 2021. Murphy went on the record with us then. He gave us a document titled Lemon Laws, and that was a booklet that Murphy said detailed multiple civil rights violations committed by his boss back then, Sheriff Charles Lemon. Murphy also provided us and SLED with a copy of that booklet and the jailhouse tasing video from May 2020, a video that led to the indictments of Charles Lemon and Deputy Andrew Cook. Prosecutors questioned Murphy about the press release he sent out in 2020 about the jailhouse tasing, with how Marlboro County painted that incident. The subject line of that email said, "Man accused of assaulting Sheriff Lemon." The release continued, Jarrell Johnson was putting the safety of those at the jail at risk, and that Johnson attempted to flee from his cell and attack Charles Lemon. Now, after that assault, Sheriff Lemon is fine and in good health, the press release read. Murphy also testified he discussed the release with Lemon and got his approval before he sent that release out to reporters. The indication here is that the sheriff's version of what happened did not tell the full story. Prosecutors also called a SLED expert who analyzed both Lemon and Deputy Cook's tasers from the jailhouse use of force. Lemon never fired his taser, but data shows he turned it on and off 10 different times during that jailhouse assault. Deputy Cook's data showed 6 taser pulls and that Cook shot Jarrell Johnson a total of 29 seconds throughout that entire ordeal.
Now, Jody, with the prosecution resting its case, we understand the defense is asking the judge to do something that could end the case this morning.
Yeah, the defense, it was actually during witness testimony yesterday, the defense filed a motion asking the judge to enter a judgment of acquittal against Charles Lemon. Now, that motion argues that the government failed to prove and provide any evidence that Charles Lemon committed the elements of the crimes that he's charged with, and that crime again is a deprivation of civil rights under color of law. The judge took some argument on that yesterday here late in the day, but the judge said he would spend overnight tonight mulling over what he will do with that. Now, if the judge approves this judgment of acquittal, Charles Lemon could walk out of these doors around lunchtime today, a free man, no longer under the prosecutorial weight of the federal government. But if the judge denies that motion and sends this to the jury will then decide whether Charles Lemon is guilty or innocent of these charges. Now, the defense, if this is denied this morning, the defense will begin putting up their expert witnesses. The defense team told the judge they could finish this sometime around lunch or after, but they say it's likely they will not finish this their case today, and the jury may not see this case until either Monday or Tuesday, and we will be here until the final gavel of the judge's final gavel and the verdict comes in.